All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Bumper to Bumper. I am your host, Chris Candy, and we are live and well. We're got a nice little show for you today. It's Monday for you all in the Vortex. Actually, it's Monday in reality, but in the Vortex, it is who knows what day. We'll get into all of that. I am really excited today because we're going to do a very special show. It's going to be with my good friends, that idiot who I love, Rick Darge. And then we're also going to have my lovely friend, one of my older friends now, in the sense that I've known her for a long time, Guerrin Gardner. Guerrin is an amazing actress. She is an incredibly talented writer. She's super funny. I've been in all kinds of acting classes with her, and I've created a ton of stuff with her. Some of my early stuff was with her. We did a show called Where's This Party? She is currently writing a really awesome pilot that is going through the channels to get made. She's great. I'm really happy to have her on the show. She's an incredible actress. We made the film Chowchilla together, which we'll also get into today, the short film. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Guerrin Gardner. She's coming on the show. And, you know what? I need to get a little gas in the car before I call Rick. So let me just do that. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me find a good... Oh, no, I don't like the way this one is. Let's see here. Let's go and just pull in over here. Oh, this is great, actually. Let's just do this here. Perfect. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone's coming in the car right now. Who do we got? Oh my God! Psych! All right.
Touchdown. We've been just waiting here at the gas station.
Dude, don't ruin the show, all right?
What
did
you say?
I was saying I needed to get gas, you know?
But you already got gas.
Oh, God.
You already got gas.
Now everyone knows on the podcast I'm a loser.
We already planned
this
out.
What'd you guys get?
This out. I got to put my seatbelt on.
Everyone put your
Just a
seatbelt
couple
on.
of
anything.
snacks.
We were looking at the beautiful panoramas. They had a sign in there. I was going to buy it for you for your birthday. It was reasons why handguns are better than women.
12 reasons.
And one was you can trade in your 44 for two 22s.
And number 12 was the handgun won't complain if you're a little fast with the trigger.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know what part of town we're in right here. Did you tell them we're going to Mammoth?
Nope, I was doing a whole other kind of setup.
Oh,
I was
weird.
just driving in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
We're going into Inyo County, and we are on our way, the three of us, to Mammoth Mountain for...
The Mammoth Film Festival.
The Mammoth
to
Film
show
Festival.
our short film, Chowchilla.
I did mention that. I was telling
Okay.
everybody in the podcast land that wow, it's windy out, huh? The two of us know each other for a very long time. Acting class, and we've made a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
where did you guys why don't you tell us how you guys met? I don't even know. Where did you
You don't know?
Let me see something here.
What?
Is
Let me
this a
check
lie,
your-
Rick?
I'm going to check your mic right there. You're going to lower it a little bit.
What are you trying? Why you?
There you go, there you go.
It's good, okay? Just sit back, okay?
Now you look like Brittany.
Yeah, now you look good.
We actually met in acting class, but we had
Bill
a bunch
Alley's.
of different coincidence. We were kind of destined to be friends, I think.
Oh, this is a
because
great story, yeah.
Chris, we met in acting class, and then Chris mentioned that he was looking for a new apartment, and he said, "Oh, I'm looking at an apartment on Orange Street," and is that too personal?
No. Yeah.
Morgue Street?
To say what street you live on?
Well, don't say the address or
No,
anything like that.
I don't know your address. That.
But you don't
by
live there
heart.
anymore.
I don't.
Oh, you still do?
I still live. Okay. Podcast
Anyways.
world. I live on Murmur Street.
So anywho, Chris ended up moving across the street, and that was weird. And then we have the same commercial agent.
Yeah.
I have the same commercial agent as you
Yeah,
guys.
and now Rick does too.
And but then there was even more coincidences. Yeah, well, I guess it was the acting class, the commercial agent, and that I moved across the street. I kind of brought you on this podcast today to tell you I've been stalking you all these years. course. I've known you for a very long time.
Of course you tell me this when we're in the middle of nowhere.
How many
I have
years
nowhere to
ago
go.
was that acting class?
That class was over 10 now, wasn't it, don't you think?
No, because I haven't even been in Los Angeles for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So, but probably like 7.
Right.
We've been friends for about 7 years, I'd say. And anyways, Chris was doing his radio show, and he did this character that was super funny. And so we just were talking about it in class one day, and that's when we came up with our web series, Where's This Party?
Where's This Party?
And we've shot that for a couple of years.
Well, yeah, that was like the very beginning of it. But I remember that story just a little bit differently. I believe I was doing the radio show at the
agree with this.
At the Mandrake, and you and Brett, your husband, were and partner in crime, were at that night having a night on the town.
Yes.
And the way I remember it is, you walked up to me, and let's just say you had a couple Moscow Mules in the system, and you
sure
walk
I
up
did.
and you come, look. If you ever want to do anything creative together, let's do it. And I have audio of you being on Noise Pollution talking and
saying like that.
You were just Yeah, I got some footage, like
pretty
audio.
Aggressive.
You were really aggressive.
Let's roll the clip.
I can't find that clip. You're gonna go jump to a clip right now?
Let's roll the clip.
No.
If you were gonna accuse me of being that aggressive, you might as well have something to back it up.
All right, we'll go to the clip.
I don't think we have the clip.
No, I can find it. In time? Who knows? All right.
Okay.
Well, anyways.
It all worked out. Whether or not, however it happened, it might have been 2 conversations.
It probably was. I just remember that you were the catalyst of like, we should make something.
Yeah.
And then I kind of had this rough idea about doing something in a car, similar to this podcast.
Yeah, it's weird because your guys' show was shot on a GoPro.
We did.
This is crazy. This is like kind of like Where's This Party? Deconstructed almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels weirder to be ourselves for some reason than being the idiots, Richard and Lou. But you can see it at where'sthisparty.com.
Well, why don't we just go to a clip of that?
Why don't we go to the clip with me in it?
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
and Rick
we'll
did
roll the clip and go.
I don't want to be in it anymore. Get me out of this.
Francis, I need you to chill out. You need to chill out right now, all right? This is just a little car wash, and I do not need you freaking out.
Just choke him out. Just choke him out.
Okay.
And we're back from the clip.
Dude, Guerrin, you're
Rick,
hysterical.
Thank you. You guys are so funny. Rick, wow. You just
Yeah.
added so much.
It's a little weird. It's like we jumped through time. We're in the same positions that we were on the show.
Now, Guerrin, what for you was like, I always like asking this question, and I know you really well, but for people who don't know you, how did you kind of get started creatively? What were you doing? What were you up to when you were younger? I mean, I was telling everybody earlier on the show that you're just a force. Like, you're so fucking funny.
Thank you.
Who were you telling?
I was telling
everybody.
The audience, all the people who listen to Bumper to Bumper. I'm trying to keep this on its legs, okay?
Thank you.
It's like a spider.
I have been doing theater since I was a little kid, and then I was a theater major, and then I moved to New York right when I graduated, and I wrote a bunch of plays and did a lot of theater when I was in New York, and then, did an episode of Law and Order and some other TV.
You did Law and Order?
I did.
Whoa.
The Mothership. It was
Do you
actually
have that
my.
clip?
It was my. I do.
Let's go to
Let's go to that clip.
Well, she was pretty pissed off about Samantha jumping to Knopf, but it wasn't anything I hadn't seen before.
So what happened later?
It was the end of the day. She was in her office, and she just went ballistic.
And we're back from the clip. That was great.
That was great.
That was actually my first audition out of college, and it was for like a guest star role on Law and Order, and I was like, well, that was easy. And then I didn't book anything else for several years after that, but it was really cool. I got to act with Michael Imperioli, and then I was in New York for a few years, and wrote a play that did pretty well there that had a 3-year run. I wrote that with my friend Matt Sanders. It was called Sandy the Dandy and Charlie McGee, and it was a modern vaudeville, and I played sort of an androgynous silly boy. And then I moved to Los Angeles, and I've been here for about 8 years.
So it's only been about 8 years. Okay.
Yeah. So.
But what was it like with the play that you were doing with Matt? You were doing I know you've told me about it, Sandy the Dandy, but it sounded like it was like a pretty like. What was that process like, getting that play up on its feet?
Well, we submitted it to the Fringe Festival in New York, and we got in, and it just sort of took off from there. We had several different artists in residencies at a few different theaters in New York, so because of that, we were able to just keep it going. But it's really about, Matt plays this character named Sandy the Dandy, and it's based on, he worked at the American Girl doll store in the theater there in New York, and they wanted to become, this is real.
Oh, Matt did work at the American Doll store?
Yeah, Matt did work at the American Girl doll store, and they...
What is the American Girl doll store?
So the American Girl doll store, American Girls are these little dolls, and at that time... It came under fire a little bit because it was a little bit racist. There was just like, the African American one was a slave.
No,
wow.
Yes, and she had, a crappy little bed, and, her bed was made out of like a sack of potatoes pretty much compared to like the rich little white girl who had this beautiful gold bed. And
what?
Then there was, a Native American one who lived in a teepee. It was very stereotypical. And so our show kind of makes fun of that. But they had a live theater show, and Matt performed in it, and they wanted to join Actors Equity, and they ended up striking and holding signs outside of the store saying they wanted to join it. The New York Times picked it up. So anyways, our play was very loosely based on that whole experience, and it's really sort of a zany vaudevillian joke after joke after joke after joke kind of show.
Okay.
So
where in New York did you guys have the theater? What theater?
We had a residency at the Interborough Repertory Theater, which was in the West Village. We had a residency at the Living Theater, and then Matt and I also wrote some plays and did some things at the American Globe Theater as well.
Oh,
and then we were also in the Fringe, it started with the Fringe Festival.
Right.
So, yeah, and then I feel like once that sort of ran its course, then I was ready to, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to move out to LA and get more involved in film and TV as opposed to just theater. I'd been doing that my whole life, and it was great, but I kind of just wanted to make some money from it.
Makes perfect sense.
How long were you in New York for?
I was in New York for 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was awesome and great. I just think, I had 3 different jobs, freelance writing, plus at the time I was working at Real Simple magazine, and I was
You worked at Real Simple?
Yeah, I worked at Real Simple for 6 years. So I worked at Time Inc. And I was, doing all my theater stuff. So I remember when I met my husband, he was living in LA and I was in New York, and he was like, you're gonna freaking die, because I wasn't sleeping, and New York just sort of cultivates that.
This manic kind of energy.
Yeah, and it's good in a lot of ways because it forces you to produce a lot, but at the same time, it's not healthy.
Right.
So,
it's the city that never sleeps.
It's what they say about it.
That doesn't seem healthy.
No,
it's
it's
like everyone's
not.
on meth.
Yeah, but when you're young, you can kind of like just eat Triscuits and tuna fish and cheese and be fine with it. And then you get to a certain phase where you're like, you know what? I kind of want a backyard, and I want a life or whatever. But there's lots of things I miss about New York and the culture.
What do you
and
miss?
I miss that energy in a lot of ways, and I miss being able to just go out and hop around from bar to bar, and people are much more social and friendly, and it's not as isolated. LA can be kind of isolating, even though I love it, and a lot of that is lovely,
I feel like it's the car culture in LA.
Totally.
Like, we all need to drive, and in New York, you don't need a car. You're on foot.
And you're also like, a lot of people are like, they make smaller spaces kind of work while they're over there. Like, even if you have like the most expensive,
you have more of a minimalist attitude. You have to for survival.
Yeah, and you don't want to be in your apartment because it's tiny, so you're out and about.
Yeah.
And you're not really cooking because you have this tiny, shitty kitchen, and so you're out at restaurants and just interacting with people more. So that part of it I do miss.
So for you with comedy, like I'm curious because like what were some of the like early people you were watching? Because the one thing that's like really great about your performance style is like when you explode into a character, it's like high octane, incredibly funny. Like
I remember Chowchilla, that end moment when you're coming out, when you're just losing it.
Not a lot of people can do that. And
why don't we go to the clip?
We're gonna how many clips? You don't have to edit much on this one because we're all in the car.
Let's roll the clip of Chowchilla with Guerrin losing it.
All right, perfect. Let's roll it.
In the world? That's just one of the farm boys has had an accident. It is very common in farm life for the farm boys to have an accident. This kind of thing happens all the time.
And we're back.
That's like my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you just bring out this, like, what do you do to tap into that? How do you go to a place? Is that,
Yes.
where's that coming from?
Yeah, where's it coming from?
To be honest, it's not, I don't feel like I have to go. It's not that difficult for me to be a fucking insane person. But I think, speaking of what inspired me when I was younger, I mean, really the Conan O'Brien, The Simpsons, Lucille Ball, Diane Keaton, Goldie Hawn. I was obsessed with those kinds, with the movies that they were in when I was a kid, but I was also simultaneously obsessed with Alfred Hitchcock, and The Shining is my favorite movie. So I think maybe Jack Nicholson was, I watched all of these.
Oh, wow, that's true.
that
You
makes
definitely
sense.
tap into like a Jack kind of.
Yeah, and I
Wendy?
think, I watched a lot of that stuff at a really young age. So, and I've kind of always been obsessed with both comedy, but also with murder and dark things. So, I don't know. I think that's my favorite kind of entertainment.
Now,
Which is like something like what we made with Chowchilla, which is, it's got comedy, but
Dances
it's got
around
a
that.
darkness side of it.
Yeah.
Very like Coen Brothers-y.
for those who don't know out there in the world, I think I said it at the beginning of the show, but the three of us all made Chowchilla together.
And you can go to Vimeo right now and search Chowchilla. That's CHOWILLA.
That would be.
you can watch it.
How'd you spell that?
Oh, wait, I think you misspelled it. CHOWCHILLA.
I'm the director of Chowchilla, and I can't spell.
So we're
obviously not the writer.
So we're going to another film festival.
For Chowchilla.
But we've been to several.
We've been to
together.
several, and this is kind of we're at like the last leg of the festival. We're going up to Mammoth, and we thought it would be fun to do a podcast on the way. And I gotta say, it is not bumper to bumper traffic out here.
Hey,
there are no cars.
I feel like I can't make fun of you as much when you're in the car.
Yeah, you can't, because I'm right here and I'm looking at you in the face. Okay, you can't bully me anymore.
Whenever,
I'm pure
but
trash,
what about
huh?
me?
Chris called me pure trash on the last episode. Said I was pure trash. Guess what? Maybe I am.
Well, I feel like we should talk about, if we're talking about the film festivals, we should talk a little bit about London and that crazy night out that we had.
Right.
Oh, we all got to go to London, yeah.
So this festival.
We went to Rain Dance in London with Chowchilla.
Yeah, shout out to Rain Dance.
And we went to the screening and...
oh, are you talking about the kick in the stomach guy?
Oh, I mean, do we want to talk about kicking the stomach guy?
Documentary filmmaker. We did meet a documentary filmmaker who didn't believe in aliens, which I was like, how do you know?
Right.
And then he was like, when I was a young boy, my friends didn't like me, and one of them kicked me in the stomach and said I was out of the friend group, and we all thought, yeah, I see why.
Yeah, well, this is after he had talked to us for like an hour straight.
Yeah, he's never going to listen to this podcast.
No.
Are you sure? I feel like someone like that would listen to the podcast.
Well, you know what? It happened.
He might
I'm not
be
making fun of
following
him.
I know you're
you
not.
on Instagram.
I'm just saying that he told us a story. He got kicked in the stomach. That's a weird thing to tell people.
I mean, just imagine,
I'll
though.
take the heat.
I just imagine, though, how bad of a person you have to be
To get
for a
kicked in the
friend
stomach? Yeah.
decides that they're going to
That's
kick you in
tough.
the
I also feel like and right when we got out of he came to our screening, he just like immediately gave us constructive criticism
Oh,
too.
yeah.
We were like, I don't
that's
want
right.
that.
Yeah, here's a rule of thumb when you're at a film festival.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
fucking shut up.
Say like, oh, I liked it. That was
yeah,
awesome, and
thumbs
move
up.
on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a big rule
Or
because
just don't say anything.
yeah, like if you don't like it, like nobody wants to hear like, oh, that was interesting. Looks like y'all had a lot of fun. Can I give you a few ideas? Like no one
Yeah.
wants to hear that.
Let me get in my little time machine and go back in time and fix what you...
He was like, I already knew when you were doing XYZ. I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen already.
I
It's
wish
like,
we were more
shut
bold and just say,
up.
hey, you know what? Shut the fuck up.
Hey, we were so polite. We just took it from him.
Yeah, we were like, okay.
for like 45
Yeah,
minutes.
But guess what? We're talking about him now on the podcast.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah.
realize that after our travels to London, we'd be taking this story all the way to the mean
Yeah.
No,
streets of the
I'm-
Mojave Desert or wherever the hell we are.
I'm talking about when we went out that one
Well,
night.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, which night?
The night that you sang.
Okay, so let's
Picture
spell
this,
it
we were
out.
Oh,
both butt
Chris met his
naked.
This will be
son.
fun. So we went to, we're in Piccadilly, and that's where Rain Dance has the
Piccadilly
screenings.
Circus, yeah.
And this is London. Piccadilly, for those who haven't been,
It's like Times Square.
it's like Times
Times
Square.
Touristy.
Touristy is all hell, like Bubba Gump
Yeah.
Shrimp Co., Planet Hollywood.
Bubba Gump Shrimp. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like all of those spots are there.
Yeah.
You really only want to spend like 30 minutes there. But we were there for the evening.
For hours.
For hours, and we go to Rain Dance, and we want to go out. But London, everything closes down. At midnight. There aren't that many bars that go till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, their bar schedule is weird.
But I have a nose for sniffing that kind of thing out.
Yeah.
So we kind of start river ratting through the streets, looking
Yes.
for a good place to.
Well, it wasn't really so much as like us sniffing it out, and there was a promoter that was like, "Oh, come on, come on down
in here.
Hello.
Hey,
Come on,
come on in,
hello."
go to the bar, right?
Oh, is it a 2 a.m. bar? Yeah, it's a 2 a.m.
Yeah.
bar. Yeah, okay, maybe.
So we went down, and immediately the bartender
Oh.
looked exactly like Chris's son.
He looked like a miniature version
Hold
of
on,
Chris.
hold on.
Like
We gotta
20 years
paint this
younger.
better. You go downstairs, and it looks like someone's basement bar. Like it looks like a bar someone has in their house, like in a basement. Like there's like a bar,
Right.
And then there was like a teeny little stage, and there was like
Oh,
10
yeah,
to
karaoke.
15 incredibly drunk British people.
Oh,
there
God,
was
they
like
were so-
so many
British
drunk
people
British
get
people.
hammered.
And there was this wedding party,
Okay,
and these
wait.
women were lovely. They were super lovely, and
But okay, so we got a drink, and I sat
that
down,
alcohol was gross.
and this woman. I mean, I'm on a big bench. There's lots of other places to sit, and this woman. I wish I could do it right now, but I can't.
Wait, was she? Yeah, go
She's
ahead.
just. I could see her butt was coming towards me, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she just sat
Oh,
down
yeah.
directly on my lap,
Yeah.
thinking I was part of the bench. And I was like, hey, get off me. And she got off me and just goes,
oh, the sloppiest, drunkest middle finger you've ever seen
and
anyone
then
flash.
and then she went like this.
She
just
slowly
literally rolled over.
rolled her head over on your shoulder.
So we knew it was going to be a good night.
And all of her friends. That the funny thing with cities that have huge drinking cultures like London, when people get that hammered, in my opinion, people kind of go, they're fine. Like,
Yeah,
they'll
that
be
was
all
the
right.
general. Whereas, I mean, if that was one of my friends, I would have been like, oh my
God,
we've
alcohol
gotta get her
poisoning.
home.
Yeah. Get her home.
London's crazy. The first time I was there, I remember leaving this place at like 1 a.m, and I'm going back to my flat, and it was like Saving Private Ryan. There were like people all over the street, passed out, like a woman squatting and pissing in the corner.
Oh,
just
we
like,
saw that.
We saw
They
that.
are. It was like so. I don't mean to generalize, but the British are very sloppy when it comes to drinking. It was insane. I've never seen anything like that before.
They'd probably agree.
Yeah,
Most British
and they're into glassing. Did you guys know that?
They're into what?
What's
they do this
that?
because guns are illegal in England, so they have a big problem with people take a glass and they smash it into your face, like in a bar fight, and it's called "you got glassed."
Oh my
Because
God.
they put glass shards in your face.
Oh my God.
So there was this girl I knew like 10 years ago. I was working on a horror film, and she was from London, and we went to the after party, and I thought she was very sweet and very nice. We got to know each other over the course of a month, and I remember at the bar, she's like, I went to jail, I did. And I was like, you?
What?
And I'm like, what'd you do? She's like, I glassed me ex-boyfriend. And I was like, what does that mean? And she described it, and I was like, check please, goodbye.
Oh my
I could
my
not believe
God.
it. It's like, it's a common thing. It's very strange.
Yeah, we were down in this basement, and all of us are right on the edge of getting glassed at any given moment.
And there was karaoke.
But we all won them over with our karaoke styles.
Rick really, really did.
I forgot
because
what I
Rick,
sang.
you sang, picture this, we were both butt
Oh, no,
naked.
you can't do it because of...
No, we can sing that first part.
I can't sing that part.
Oh!
Yeah, they know what it is now.
Oh, no, Rick always gives me shit when I want to sing a song.
Yeah, you're
and
not
then
allowed
you,
to sing a song.
And then you come in and you sing your
Picture
little...
this.
Darren's
we
our
were
guest.
both butt
No,
naked.
that's enough.
Picture this.
You're so afraid we're going to get monetized.
I don't know. 'cause
Demonetized? What is
YouTube
it?
has like the weird robot algorithms, you know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on right now where we're driving right now. It's
I feel like we're
Oh my God,
driving
we
into
haven't
the
even looked at
abyss.
the ways for
we
a while.
haven't looked at the ways?
Oh yeah, we could be going in the completely wrong direction. So, Chowchilla, how did you guys originally come up with that idea? Like, what was it?
We're cool.
Because you guys were doing Where's This Party? And
Yeah.
I do know that you approached me. You were like, we want to do something that's, a higher production value and an actual short film. But where did well, explain what Chowchilla is first. Like, do the log line if you can. Or I can do it.
Yeah, why don't you just
Yeah.
do all the talking,
Okay, so
Rick?
Chowchilla.
What am I here for?
Chowchilla is about it's a brother and sister that are being forced to sell their family farm in the city of Chowchilla. And it's where they grew up. They have a lot of memories there, and they don't want to sell it. And the night before the open house, a giant bag of money literally lands on their front doorstep, and they think it's, a gift from God. And they kind of get into a fight about it because the brother is like, no, this is drug money, and there we go. That's Chowchilla.
That was one of the worst log lines I've ever heard anyone do in my entire life.
Thank God.
Can I reenact that? Okay, so Chowchilla is about a brother and sister that
I haven't
are
watched it.
forced to sell their family farm.
Yeah, okay,
and
we
on
get
the eve
Yeah, we
of
got
it.
a giant bag of money shows up, and
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Chris
please.
and I had been doing a lot of things together creatively, and every time we were always in these stupid wigs.
Yes.
And whatever, wigs are great, and we had a good time, but we were like, okay, let's try to come up with something where we're not wearing a wig.
Yeah.
And also, I was pregnant with my second child. I only have two. And
You were 8 months pregnant.
I was 8 months when we
In
shot
Chowchilla,
it,
yeah.
but I was pregnant when Chris and I came up with it because I knew, once I gave birth, there was going to be this time period where I wasn't going to be able to, be
Right.
doing a lot. So I kind of knew mentally I wanted to have something that either we were submitting to festivals or we were in post or something like that to just keep me mentally in the right place.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was sort of like the kernel, and then my husband's family has this farm, which is where we shot Chowchilla, in Chowchilla, California. It's been in his, family for a really long time, and so we knew we had this great location, and then really just kind of came from spitballing, I feel like.
Yeah, I remember you came to me saying, we have a farm, we could film something there, and then that kind of got the balls kind of, is that how you say it? The balls? The
Balls?
wheels.
The balls.
The balls.
The balls.
That got the
shrinking.
balls spinning, and
Got my balls
as they say. That was the beginning of it, and I just remember the two of us wanted to make something that had some more substance to it, and something with violence for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, we were
really
very committed to the violence. And also, I think, too, for us, Chris and I have worked a lot, but a lot of the stuff that we do, when you look at our reel, it's like clips of things or whatever.
Right.
And to have something that's a 15-minute, example of really having an arc as an actor is sort of invaluable for many reasons. And then we knew we wanted Rick to be the director because he's so freaking talented and funny and just a great director. So it really was honestly a lot of fun. And I was just showing Chowchilla back in Tallahassee, where I'm from, in Tallahassee, Florida, and we got to close opening night there, which was really fun. And they were asking me, what was the hardest thing about filming it? And, I was kind of, other than like the one scene where the water breaks or whatever.
Right.
I was like, it really wasn't. It was really a joy.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, it felt like
everyone was like having a great time.
Yes.
And there was a couple things where, you have to get creative when you're on a short film and you have a limited amount of time, and something that was 3 setups now needs to just be 1, like that scene in the hallway.
I thought that was much better.
And it ended up really working out, but I think those were just the sort of, it was like, what solution can we come up with?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it for me was like, because I'd known Rick, from a different kind of world.
Well, you guys fought horribly the whole time.
Oh yeah, it was really nasty.
Chris complained a lot, and he was like,
Rick does this thing.
Wanting his close-up all the time. He wanted more takes. I think I did take you.
He wanted a lot of just close-ups of his face.
I did take you outside one time. I'm like, you gotta. What did I say to you? I was with the scene.
I'm
scene.
not believing it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't believe this. You gotta. What are you doing?
Yeah, but you know what I thought in that moment? I go, okay. And then I thought you literally directed me to like what I gave you in the very beginning, and then you made me go in like a full circle, and then you got me back to where I was. Because like I was like, but no, it did help. It did help.
Well, when you're probably that close with each other,
I love working with Chris and you.
You can be that kind of
easier
straightforward.
You can just talk to each other and be like, hey, it's...
Well, that honestly was super helpful because I have never been more stressed than I was in those 3 days.
Yeah.
We had, set up...
Right, when I just was like, it was just joyful the whole time. It was just...
And then there was
just
all this
pure
stress.
joy.
Oh, yeah.
Now the therapy session.
The therapy session truly
It
comes
always
in.
is. It is difficult to make anything.
It is.
Well, we were self-producing it. We were kind of, running the show, and then when you have to like make sure lunch is ordered, and then we had a lot of help we had help, but it wasn't like a big production, so it's like you're kind of in charge of everything, and then you have to step in front of camera and make something work, and I kind of get that because it's tough. Wow, it is foggy.
It is, and
well, the fun thing is
rain.
you're with like a great team of people, and you realize like it's a family, and everyone has your back, and that's why if you're toxic, you got to kill the toxic people, Kill them with kindness. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everyone on that set was definitely very kind.
Yeah.
So
it was really
I'm really
fun.
excited about the next film we're all going to make together called Biscuit Boy.
I'm not talking about Biscuit Boy.
You don't want to talk about Biscuit
Why?
Boy?
You don't want no spoilers?
I don't want anyone. No, I'm still on the fence, even if I'm going to do Biscuit Boy. So yeah.
So
you're not going to do Biscuit Boy?
Yeah.
You're doing Biscuit Boy.
I'm not doing. I think there's some insensitivities into Biscuit Boy that I can't necessarily sign on for yet.
My God. Well, we'll talk once this podcast off. I'm gonna beat you up.
We don't have to say much about it, but what we will say is that one thing that
it's an ode to love.
We're all really into making just entertaining content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily something that has a message. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do think that there is a need for just something that is just purely entertaining, and but that can kind of hurt you sometimes in the festival circuit because they want.
Found that out.
Yeah, they want something that's like
festivals want like
has a message.
Message or a theme or something that's dealing with topical issues of today. And hey, that's okay, but that ain't for me because this world is crazy enough, and I want to see something that takes me away.
Yeah,
Sail
totally.
away. I'm not gonna say it. Chris, you're doing Biscuit Boy.
What's that?
You're doing Biscuit
So
Boy.
anyways,
okay?
we came up with the most absurd plot, which we don't have to get into, but it basically is something that we feel like would guarantee us to get into.
It's a satire on what they accept.
It's a satire on people who purposefully
and
inauthentically make films that have a a very strong message only to get into film festivals, which
there you go.
it feels like when you go to these festivals, sometimes you see that.
Yeah, I think that's
I think
true.
some people do play the festival card.
Right.
They do. You know? And I don't think that's a good way of making anything.
No,
you should
I
make
don't
stuff
either.
that's coming from your heart that you want to see.
A story that you really want to tell.
Yeah, and Biscuit Boy is what we want to tell. We're making Chris real uncomfortable here.
Chris is going to be the star.
Yeah, he's going to be a big giant star, all right?
Yes. So, Guerrin.
What else do you want to talk about?
Well, I did want to talk about how you were mentioning, have your second child. You wanted that time, making sure that there was something going on. But when you had your first child, you started working on a pilot. And in the kind of before I picked you both up, I was saying that you're in the process right now of selling a pilot, and the idea is really great. I wanted to know if you would want to talk about kind of that whole process and what's going on with that.
Sure. So yeah, when I had my son, I was super, super sleep deprived, and as all new moms and new parents are. But I also just, I think I struggled really hard with saying goodbye to sort of my freedom and being able to do whatever I wanted all the time, and just knowing that I was going to be a mom forever, and this love that I had for this child really kind of overwhelmed me, and I reacted to all of this and the sleep deprivation and everything with really isolating myself. And I watched, again, a lot of murder. I watched Alfred Hitchcock Presents and Dateline in 2020 and Forensic Files and Snapped and Columbo. I mean, basically anything that had anything to do with murder. And one day I thought I overheard my upstairs neighbor murder his cleaning lady, and I crazily grabbed my son and ran into the bedroom. And
what were the sounds you were hearing?
What did it sound like?
It sounded like somebody. It was very muffled, but I could hear him. And then what sounded like a dresser being thrown against the wall. And I know this shit. I watch murder. They always kill the fucking witness. So I was like, I can't let him know that I'm home because he's in this rage. Plus, I wasn't thinking straight.
Right.
So I grabbed the baby and I went into my room and I just held on to him for the rest of the day until my husband got home. Anyways, all of that was sort of that mindset. And I can look back on it and go whoa, I was really out of my mind. Ha 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 ha. But that really was the kernel for what became my pilot, which is called Maternal Instinct, and it's about a new mom who suspects a murder that happened in the apartment above her, and she's a very isolated, sleep-deprived new mom. So it's sort of like Rear Window, but
right.
Instead of a broken leg, it's sleep deprivation and being an isolated new mom. And I had a catheter for 2 weeks after my son was born, because my bladder never turned back on, and so the character in the pilot does as well. So anyways, it's in development with a studio, and now we're putting the package together and out to
awesome.
Directors and things. So it's moving and grooving, which is good.
It's funny as I hear you talk about the process of it moving and grooving, but I've known you for a long time now. That moving and grooving part is really not moving and grooving. It is a slow,
it's all slow,
long, brutally,
it's like a glacier.
Yeah. But it's funny when you listen to anybody talk about selling something. They're like, yeah, I had it, and it was on retainer with this person for 7 years, and then finally here I am. It's made. It takes so long to get anything done.
It takes so long, and I think too, it goes in peaks and valleys. There's times where I was like, oh damn, I got agents out of it, and I got a studio and all this stuff. I'm getting all this great feedback, and then now I'm in the process where the executive producers they're handling it and putting the package together, and it's a little bit out of my hands, and that part of it is frustrating because I have no control over it. But I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, and I was talking about this with the two people that are executive producing it, is I'm just going to go ahead and write episode 2.
Okay.
Because I think that's just more that's just more content to give to a director
Yeah.
or, you know.
Plus, it keeps your mind going.
Yeah,
And
totally.
creates, like, energetic
And it gets
momentum.
me back exactly, and it gets me back into it because I just feel like, you know, I think too. I think and it's always not always a positive thing, but I just get nervous if I'm not always doing something and creating something. I feel like
that's totally true. Yeah.
Well, that's why you're here, and so you feel like you're probably not fulfilling your, you know, your.
my creative side.
Yeah, I can't think of the word.
What's going on, Rick? Are you? It's where you, you
Your,
know,
destiny.
Are you
Destiny.
smelling burnt toast,
Yeah.
Rick?
No.
Someone told me that about.
What's
a
that
stroke.
beeping? Is it okay?
What
Oh
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
beeping?
It's when I go off. Look, we're on right now. We're driving on
Just
a.
wanted to make sure it wasn't the GoPro.
It's raining right now.
It's raining. We're
You're
on
not
a what is this? A one-lane.
It's a one-lane highway.
One-lane highway, and I just am overly nervous with the other lanes, so I like to kind of hug
You're doing a good job.
this side. Yeah, I'm driving 49 miles an hour right now.
You're very safe.
We're zipping and
Your arms are 10 and 2, and you're gonna do Biscuit Boy this
Okay.
year.
No, Biscuit Boy is something. Look, don't make me do the thing where I have to give it to my managers.
What?
Let me see
my
what
God.
they
Look at
think.
this guy. He's got his
Oh,
people.
we'll get them on
Your
board.
managers will be on board. We'll
Yeah,
send
we're
them
not
a
worried
nice
about that.
tray
In fact,
of
if
Popeye
they
biscuits.
think that you could do this and get into Sundance, they're going to be on our side.
Yeah. Exactly. Monster Energy Drink sponsoring. Drink Monster. You like a Monster? Guerin, so
Yes.
you are
Yeah,
a
Rick, why don't
talented...
you ask some questions?
I'm Rick. I'm in the back seat. You're a talented writer, actress, and
Thank you.
are married to a talented writer, actress. I mean, joking. You're married to a talented writer, and
Yeah, he's an act. I mean, he's
I
not
wanted
an actor.
to know. So, Brett, does he? When you're writing a script, do you guys help each other? Do you help him with
yeah.
his scripts?
Yeah,
How does
we-
that work?
we
Are you guys
actually-
competitive?
No, we actually, you know, look, we're not perfect and we fight about stuff, but
Yeah.
one thing that we really do, we do work well together and we really help each other with our scripts.
That's awesome.
And he is an executive producer on my show for many reasons. One is that he's really talented and he's done this for a while and he knows what he's doing. He's great with story, but he just knows the business side of it so much better than I do. So I can learn a lot from him, but also with his scripts too. Like I help him a lot. We live together, obviously, so
Yeah.
it's just like a constant. We're constantly talking about it.
Right.
Constantly working on stuff. When the kids go to bed, we can just put it up on the TV and like go through each other's scripts. And I mean, sometimes we have to, you know, cognizantly say to each other, like, okay, we're not gonna do work tonight.
Right.
We're gonna, you know, watch this dumb movie or do something else because we kind of just want to work all the time.
Right.
Because
What-
we really do we love it, but you can't do it all the time.
How was the pasta dinner over at Rick's house the other
Oh,
night?
yeah.
How was
Chris got mad that he wasn't invited.
I'm sorry, Chris.
how's all these dinners been going on?
But
without
also,
all-
like,
the
I
old
made this meat sauce, and you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, Rick, I know you give a lot of excuses
And
on
the
why I
chicken.
haven't been
And the
invited
chicken.
And
places.
chicken, too.
Yeah,
I would have given you
okay,
a
it's
little
fine.
grass.
This is therapy.
You could give me just a little bowl of you know.
I'm
I have
gonna
to
bring
say,
you over and
Rick,
make you pasta.
Rick made pasta from scratch, a sauce from scratch, and a chicken. It was chicken. A
Chicken
chicken
from scratch.
casserole.
From scratch, I birthed
Chicken
it.
from scratch.
What came first?
You made
the
chicken
Rick or the
casserole?
chicken? No,
Yeah,
I made
he
like a
made
lemon
baked
chicken.
Rick's
thing.
a good fucking chef.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
he is, and it was delicious. And Hillary made lovely cocktails, and
Yes.
we were missed.
That's cool. Yeah, that night I was
hey,
at
sorry.
home heating a can of beans on top of a candle.
In a campfire.
No, I was at my friend's house and I was having dinner.
Oh,
see?
what did you have at your
Why
friend's
wasn't I
house?
invited to that?
My friend Dan cooked a delicious pasta out of a cookbook.
Dan.
Dan,
Yeah. Dan and Natalie.
Is that your made-up friend?
I know.
Dan and Natalie. Jeez Louise.
Well, we'll just have
Natalie.
to talk to Dan and Natalie and
Yeah, I'll
see
have
if
to
that
call 'em
night
up
really
and
happened.
see if that happened here.
yeah, it was great. We had some wine. I was telling all kinds of jokes.
A
People
ton
were
of laughs.
laughing.
We
Yeah.
had a ton of laughs.
Why is it when someone is not being honest, their voice goes up?
Oh,
Yeah,
were you
it's
not being
good.
honest?
It's probably something that the FBI knows about too. Like, that's how they can tell somebody's lying.
Oh yeah.
I heard this the other day from my friend Carlos. He's reading this book from a hostage negotiator.
We gotta get Carlos on. You talk about him on every episode.
Do I?
Yeah,
I
you gotta bring
always
him
go
on.
back to him. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's
I want to know about his
hilarious.
cactus.
He was saying he's reading this book about hostage negotiators, and in order to get someone to truly change their
say
mind.
it 5 times fast.
Hostage negotiators. I smell burnt
Hostage
toast.
negotiators.
Hostage negotiator. Hostage negotiator. Hostage negotiator. Hostage negotiator. Fuck.
Oh,
Anyways,
you got the part, Biscuit Boy.
fuck you guys.
That's the audition.
Wow, there's snow in the mountains.
Okay, don't go off topic. That's cocaine.
I'm a good little boy. Starting to go a little crazy. If you want someone to change their
We've
mind.
been in the car together for 5 hours leading
Yeah,
up to
I know.
this.
Yeah, it was all staged when I was picking them up, okay?
Yeah,
it was all bullshit, all right?
Yeah.
This whole fucking show's bullshit. They've been in the car with me for the entire time.
You've been singing
Rick's a
songs.
trash man. Guerin's fucking great. We've been
wow.
listening to music.
Yeah.
I got a headache.
You've just been playing Natalie Imbruglia.
Chris had. Oh, insert here, Rick. This is us eating the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Roll that clip.
Oh, well, I can put the picture up right here. Popeye chicken sandwich right here.
Great.
This is the Popeye. And then also, let's put
I
up.
ate a double. No, what did I? I ate an Impossible Whopper
Burger.
in like 30 seconds.
You
This is
did.
what happened at the rest stop.
And also, let's put up
I
the
go
photo.
to Guerrin, I go, do you want to eat here or in the car? And Guerrin goes, I'd rather eat in the car. And then I was like, all right, well, let me just inhale this
You ate it quick.
800 calorie
Here's
vegan
the thing.
burger.
Here's the thing about the Impossible Burger, right?
What is the thing, Rick?
Well, I was in the bathroom, and then when I came out, I forgot that I told you that. Then we sat down.
Here's the thing about the Impossible Burger,
I ate
right?
3 biscuits.
Like, you're eating that Impossible Burger, you're sitting there eating it, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that looks like meat. How do you know? How do you know going to Burger King?
I'll tell you how you know.
Oh,
They
God.
could switch it by accident and be like, I got him.
No, I'll tell you how you know. I bought the Impossible meat at the grocery store to cook it for my kids to see, and when I cooked it, it smelled and looked like cat food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I responded to that saying, well, how often? Never mind, that
And
joke
that was
doesn't work
interesting
anymore.
'cause- yeah. Well,
It
Look.
does look like cat food. How did it taste?
like
It
cat
tastes
food.
good. It doesn't. This
Do
is
you
the thing.
remember what a burger tastes like?
How do you know, Chris, that it's not meat? They could lie to you. What
Okay,
if they
I
run
never
out of
thought about
what if they
that.
run
Take
out
it
of,
easy,
What
okay?
if they run out of Impossible patties that day? They don't want to lose a sale. They're like, he'll never know. They taste the same.
They're
I
like,
see.
just-
You can tell an Impossible patty from a burger
They're
patty.
like, just cut up that cardboard box.
That's a
and
great
stick-
YouTube prank. They go around to vegans.
Oh yeah, that's a great YouTube prank. Real
We
funny.
got them. Boo, 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 boo.
What if you just totally pivoted and became a YouTube celebrity?
Me and
You'd
I
be
just
making
do
a lot more
pranks.
money than you are now.
Like nasty, really mean pranks.
Someone told me, they legitimately told me, they go, you should get into vlogging. And I'm
No
going,
way.
what? And then this one person brought up that one,
Isn't this kind of like vlogging?
Nah.
hi. Yeah, no, it's a
Well,
podcast.
It's a podcast.
So vlogging is more like, hey guys.
Vlogging's like, I'm going
Guerin
to talk to you
here.
about my stupid, boring life, and I'm going to show you these products I use on my face, and
there
I'm a
are a
biscuit
surprising
boy.
amount are about face
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't
Face.
know. I don't know what's
I feel like
popular.
I'm so out of the loop on things. I really don't.
I've given
I
up.
don't understand anymore.
I
I
don't
don't even
even
know what
wanna-
TikTok is, and I sound
I
like
was just
a
going to say
Yeah.
TikTok.
old person.
TikTok is. I'm not even interested. I don't want to go there. No thanks.
It seems, yeah. all
I
right.
kind of think we should do a TikTok.
I don't even know what
Insert
that
a
is.
TikTok.
It just seems like so much work.
You like what I like doing. I love inserting stuff in this show, but Rick gets all pissed.
Insert here.
Because I edit it.
Yeah, I know, you do
And
all
you
the
just
work.
sit back eating your beans, kicking your toes up, and going, "Where's my podcast?"
Hey, buddy. All right, I'm fucking driving us up this mountain right now.
Oh,
all
what are
right?
you gonna do about
On the
it?
sweat of my old back.
Let's insert a clip here of Chris eating his beans.
Oh no, then we got to record it. I mean, he might.
I
You should
could
do
get-
a
I
vlog.
could-
You should do a vlog
Of eating
review
canned
of beans. Different beans. You're like, I like this one. I do.
Hey guys, Chris here.
Yeah, Chris here with another episode.
Today I'm gonna have some kidney beans. The reason I like these kidney beans is they come in the square
I've been
box.
soaking them for 24 hours, and I just really like to really get into this. It calms me down.
Yeah, I love a good kidney bean. Today I'm going to be trying Bush's vegetarian country breakfast beans. They come in
You
this
hear that,
really
Bush?
cool
Sponsor
collab-
us.
Yeah, Bush. I would love the Bush's Bean
They should
sponsorship.
make a Monster Energy drink infused kidney bean. You know?
The bean is the only
Just be
food.
close to the bathroom after that one.
Yeah, beans are very closely related to gas and farting.
Well, yeah, there's that song, Beans, Beans, the musical fruit.
The more you eat,
Easy,
the
all
more
right?
you
I don't want to
chew.
get it monetized.
That's
here.
not copywritten.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard the Happy Birthday song is no longer copywritten because Warner copywrote that song.
They did?
Yes. And if you used it in
So
a
then
movie,
you could sing that to your heart's content on your podcast.
you can,
Oh,
but
God.
they'll come after you for it. And they'll be like, we want our birthday money.
I got a question. When the hell do we start going up a hill, all right, on this drive?
Well, we're going to Mammoth Lakes, and Mammoth is in the hills.
I'm confused
Chris.
that when we first got in the car, it said 4:30, and now it's 6:21.
I know,
mean,
well,
we
the
took
time
that
shift.
many detours?
we took a lot of time.
We took a lot of time. We ate those Popeye chicken
You ate
sandwiches.
the Popeye's
they
chicken
were good.
sandwich. You took
Insert
it-
the
That's
photo
good.
here.
You ate, and, like, it took you a long time to eat it. Then we stopped to gas up.
Yeah.
You know, time, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, so back on track here.
Back on
Guerrin,
track.
you're selling your pilot,
Selling.
making Chowchilla with us.
Yes.
People always call it Chinchilla.
Yeah, so
Or
when you were...
Coachella. Who was it, Coachella?
Is it a Coachella film?
No, it's Chowchilla.
Yeah, it's Chowchilla, idiot. It's
You
a place.
stupid ass.
I know.
Okay,
So then
Go
we got,
fuck
and
yourself.
that one festival we had, they listed it as Chow Chow.
Yeah,
and
Chow
they said
Chow.
it was 16 seconds
Wasn't
long.
that this one?
Yeah, it was
That's
Mammoth.
this one we're going to.
Right.
Yeah,
I
they
was
listed it
trying
as
to be
Chow Chow.
polite.
And they said it was 16 seconds long.
It's like, what the fuck kind of film
Yeah.
is 16
What the
seconds
fuck you guys
long?
doing? I'm gonna tell them
Literally
something.
Chow Chow, and it says Chow Chow, and then it's over.
Yeah, Chow Chow. Thank you for coming. We drove 18 hours to see 16 seconds.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we can't cue it back up. I guess that's just how the cookie's going to crumble on this one.
We're really proud of Chow Chow. What inspired us to make 16 seconds of
Yeah,
Chow
we
Chow?
cut it way down.
I'll do Biscuit Boy if Biscuit Boy is 16 seconds long.
Yeah,
No.
we actually.
Biscuit
it was
Boy is
actually.
gonna be
If
45
Biscuit
45
Boy is
minutes.
a TikTok, then
We'll
I'll do
make
it.
Biscuit Boy will be 10 solid minutes.
Yeah.
Let me tell all you kids out there that want to make films. Let me tell you a little advice here. You want to
Okay,
make a
here
little
he
short
comes.
film?
Here he
You got to
comes.
submit to Abracadabra Alakazam.
Oh, God.
The late deadline is the end of March.
How long do I have to watch the films? I'm not doing too good.
What?
I'm a programmer for Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
So am
Surprise.
I.
Abracadabra Alakazam.
So,
So am I, Chris.
my advice
So is Guerrin. She's
was
a programmer of Abracadabra
10
Alakazam.
minutes
So we'll be
or
watching.
under for your short film. That's a great length if you want to get your movie into festivals. That's a little tip here from a couple of programmers in the car. And I'll tell you why. Because they only have so much time. You guys falling asleep up there? What's going on?
I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm listening to you
They-
rant.
Yeah, you're talking.
You're the
over
one
there.
that's taking the stage here.
I'm just giving some
We're
advice
being respectful.
for all the aspiring filmmakers
He always
in the
does this to
world.
me on the podcast. Like, I'm sitting, like, listening to the guests because it's their time to talk.
Right.
Rick and I talk all the time.
Sure.
Okay? And then I'm listening, and then Rick goes, hey, Chris, are you listening? Whoa, you fall asleep there? And I'm like, what? What do you want me to do?
Hey, Chris is like, I'm in
Interject
my
it?
bathroom right now.
Oh, that was a dumb joke. Rick, your jokes have been getting better, though. He has notoriously
thanks.
terrible
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
Well,
When
you
we're
did
off
call him pure trash.
When we're off the podcast, your jokes are awful.
What are you talking about? I got gold. Gold pouring out of this mouth of mine.
Yeah. Anyway, make your movies 10 minutes or under because if
Yeah.
you make them over 10 minutes, you're gonna have a hard
I'd
time
say
getting in.
I'd say anywhere between 16 seconds and 10
In
minutes.
10 minutes. And Chowchilla is 17 minutes long.
We really
Yeah.
fucking broke the rules.
Yeah.
And
But
we
you
have
know
like
what?
2
Ours
minutes of
is
credits.
different. That was the moment, I think, when we were getting rejected so many times with Chowchilla. Like, you kind of go, you feel very, very close to your film, and you know in your heart it's the best thing because you birthed it, and then it starts getting rejected left and right, and you're like, hey, but
Yeah.
what? My kid's good. What's going on here?
Yeah, we sort of at the beginning we were just getting a lot of no's, and then the
I
tide
talked shit to a
turned.
festival.
Yeah, Rick did. Rick called him up and was like, "Why?"
Yeah, I was like, tell me
Why?
why. You know?
The one thing I don't like is
Do you
that-
want to shout them out or no?
No.
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
But you
But
know
I
who I'm
did-
talking to. You know who I'm talking to, Matt.
Did you just do like an Australian accent there? You know, I'm talking about.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
So,
I feel like the
Guerrin,
elevation's
what
getting me
are
high.
your tips for creatives, filmmakers. I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this question.
Yeah.
Because I found it very awesome, inspiring that you do so much. I don't think you give yourself enough credit for that, but
Thank
you
you.
have raised a family, you balance a home life, you got a husband who's a son of a bitch, but everyone loves him.
It's a good description.
But
He'd actually probably agree with that.
Yeah.
but I've always been inspired and impressed by that.
Me too.
Thank you.
But what is it with? How do you do it? I mean, seriously, you wrote a fucking pilot. One thing, I can't write very long on my own.
Yeah,
very
you
well.
go crazy.
I go nuts. My
Yeah.
mind turns to mush. You did it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Just break it down. Break down the process.
Yeah,
Give
how
me
the
the
hell do you
juice.
do that?
Okay, I want the juice.
Well, I think when you have kids, first of all, thank you for saying that. But I think when you have kids, your
I mean
time
all
is,
of it.
you have to work really hard with the time that you have. And so if I only have 3 hours a day, then I'm going to work every single one of those hours as hard as I can. So you just become a lot more efficient because you don't have an option. I don't have time to sit there and go, I'm going to listen to this record and I'm going to muse
Get
on this for
inspired.
a while and I'm going to go for a long walk and I'm going to, I
Procrastination.
like this and I don't like that. And, I think, so I read a thing somewhere that, procrastination is really just perfectionism. And so if you can kind of go, okay, this doesn't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be good. I just need to get it out. And I need to get out the first draft and it's going to be a pile of shit. And I'm going to fucking hate it. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo the second draft. And each time it's going to get better and better. And my husband sort of, equated it to like, you're making a sculpture. It starts out as a dumpy pile of clay and then you take off a little bit here and there and
like
there
that.
and then by the end it's some sort of semblance of something. It's David, if you're
David.
Who's David?
the
Who's David?
statue.
Oh, the naked man.
Yeah.
Got
If
very
it's really
small
good.
balls.
Yeah, with very small balls. But anyways,
Does David have small balls?
He's got a very tiny
Yeah.
little ball package. Let's get the balls
hey,
rolling.
it's not about the size, it's about what you do with the balls.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make sure they're rolling.
Yeah, you hear that, Biscuit Boy?
Anyways, Guerrin, you're saying some lovely
That's
stuff.
good motivation for your part in Biscuit Boy. I think just getting out the first draft is a huge accomplishment, and I think that's what you have to focus on, and not be focused so much on like what are people going to think and blah blah blah. Just get out the story that you want to tell.
Yes, I agree with
And
that.
even if it's not there, if you have an idea of what the story is that you want to tell, each draft, each thing is getting closer and closer and closer to that version. And
Yeah.
I feel like you'll know in your gut when you're getting closer and closer.
Yes.
Do
But
you
it's
take-
really hard.
Do you take time between drafts to like decompress, or do you just, as soon as you're done with the first draft, you're like, I'm going back in right away? Are you very disciplined when you write?
Well, one of the executive producers on my show, his name is Ron Nicewaner, and he wrote Philadelphia, and he was an executive producer on Homeland, and he's really obviously very experienced and knows story so incredibly well. So usually what will happen is that we'll kind of come up with an outline or whatever, and
Yeah.
then he'll give me notes on a draft, and then I'll go back, and I feel like once I get notes on something, I'm ready to fix whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll send it to a few select people for notes, but again, this goes back to something Brett told me, that if you get a bunch of notes back on something, you don't always have to listen to their solutions, but you should pay attention to the fact that maybe something's not working if you're getting a bunch of notes back on it. You don't
Or
have to
about the
listen.
same issue?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I loved that. That is, I remember hearing that. That's very true when you're getting
Yeah.
the notes back. A lot of people love to interject their little ideas into your project, and they
okay.
haven't been living with it. And
okay.
I'm just saying, Rick, you're a pretty
gonna be okay.
a harsh critic, and
But I think I never, I appreciate you saying that, because I always feel like I'm never doing enough. And I feel like I always want to be doing more and more and more. It's tough with kids because I feel pulled in both directions. I want to be with my kids all the time, but then I also want to be creative. So
I don't know anybody who is making stuff and they sit back one day and they go like, I'm doing enough.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
I'm done.
I think
I'm
that's
done.
what makes, artists fueled is the
guess
fact.
I always have that little pilot light on, always like,
Hunter S. Thompson, he was done.
Yeah, that's true.
well, some people, I think, they can burn themselves out in a way that,
He lived hard.
Yeah.
he lived a hard life.
But he also didn't want to get old and be a burden on his family.
Right.
Hunter
He went to Florida
He
State,
killed himself.
where I went.
with a shotgun,
He blew his
right?
brains out because he didn't want to bother his family.
With his neuroses?
He was just like, I don't want to get old.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
He was shot guns with Conan.
Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, did you ever see that?
No.
There's an episode where Conan and Hunter went on his property and they were like shooting guns. It's really fun.
Okay, we're pulling through a town called Lone Pine right now.
Lone Pine. This is a great place to shoot a horror film.
Yeah.
This would
There's
be a
a
good
lot of
place
great
for
places up here to shoot something.
Biscuit Boy.
Oh, now I am coming up with.
Let's just put it this way. Biscuit Boy will get us into every prestigious...
Okay, enough with Biscuit Boy, all right?
I feel like Biscuit Boy, that'll be one of those things that Chris will look
Film
back to this
festival.
podcast and be like, man, I was so silly. I'm glad I did Biscuit Boy because now I'm a giant movie star.
Why do I have a southern accent when I'm a movie star?
Because you're preparing for a role, okay?
Oh, okay, like the southern drama.
Yeah, the full-length feature of Biscuit Boy.
Oh, I got a good question for you, Guerin. What
What?
is a dream project that you could act in? Like, if tomorrow you get a phone call from said director, or even if it's just like you get to be on this kind of show.
That's a great question, Chris.
I
Thanks, Rick.
would want to
problem.
be on a show like Barry.
Yes.
I would. I loved this recently. Barry, Russian Doll, Dead to Me. Those
Oh, yeah.
were my favorite shows this year. But I think my dream is for my show to get made, and I would be in that. So
I feel like you could be in
Okay.
anything, Guerin. Like, you're
Yeah.
so versatile. You could
thank
play
you.
any character, really. Like, I can
Thank
see you
you.
like in any role right now. I'm just like flipping through the Rolodex in my
Well,
mind.
from your fucking mouth
What?
to God's ears,
That was fun.
let it happen.
What the fuck town are we
I don't
in
know,
right
but
now?
I
We're in
really
Lone
like
Pine.
it.
Hey, I live in Lone Pine, where a house is $80,000 in a chicken.
What?
Did you just fart?
No, it was like
I meant it when I said I was. No one's been farting in this car. While
no.
we've
I
been
would
doing
never
this.
do that.
I think
I would never do that.
I
You
would-
have you?
No.
Gary?
Why?
I have not farted.
I thought you were
You
about
want
to
me
say
to? I
it.
could put one in the chamber.
I think we would. I think we would know if one
Yeah,
of you
that'd be
did.
bad. And we're
And
all-
also, I
yeah.
appreciate.
When I was at the screening last night, someone farted.
What?
In the screening, and I was talking to my friend.
This is all we
and-
do is make stuff, write stuff, and go to screenings.
Yeah, and watch our
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
This is a weird
But I love
world.
it. I love myself.
Live in a little bubble.
I live and love myself.
There was a person one time that told me a funny idea for a short film was, I mean, Chris, you're still single, so this
Yeah.
applies to you more. But you remember when you were single, Rick, too?
Yeah.
And
Sucked.
and
Fuck.
anyways, his idea was that it was like a character that hooked up with a girl the night before, and then the next morning they're like cuddling and they're having such a nice morning, and then you like see the guy and she's like, do you want to get breakfast? And he's like, you know what, I should go, but I had such a great time. And they like make out and it's really pretty and lovely, and then he leaves the apartment and as he's going down the stairs leaving her apartment, it's just like,
It's so
Oh, yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
It is so
Yeah,
true.
all
I've
the
thought
gas.
of this.
Yeah.
I've thought of this all the time.
Yeah.
Like you have, if you go through the process of dating, maybe you get the opportunity, you get the third base, maybe you score a home run on the date, right? There's a
Fluid
really
bonding.
solid chance that you are holding a fart the entire time because you don't leave the other person.
Right.
That's weird because you fluid bond, and then we just learned that term, fluid bonding.
Fluid bond.
It's gross. But then you can't you would think gas would be okay. You know?
no,
It's such
not
a-
that
no,
early
not
on.
I know, it's
early on.
weird.
It
I had
is.
this. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I remember when when my husband and I first moved in with each other, there was a bathroom. He had a roommate, but there was like the bathroom was right off of our bedroom.
Okay.
But it was like a shared bathroom, so when anybody had to go in, you could hear it.
I do.
It's so awkward.
I play music sometimes if I'm in someone's house.
I turn the faucet on.
I don't. I'll just like play music. Like I'll play like a really loud
that's
song.
weird.
Wanna be a lover,
Death metal?
Like they can't hear anything.
Sure, I'm sure they have no idea what's going on
They
in
hear
there.
death metal and shitting. They're
Well,
like,
I do.
Chris is a weird guy.
I want to let I saw that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry is talking to the lawyer and he's saying that he's like a.
Oh, he
like
can't use a bathroom?
He's a ninja when it comes into using someone else's bathroom. I like to try and live by those same rules.
Yeah.
You're not even going to know I was ever there. It's like, if you've got spray,
except for the
death metal. Well, yeah, everyone knows what you're doing in there, right?
Wait, especially if you're playing music
Yeah.
or running the faucet, either one. I mean, it's a
It'd be
dead
weird if
giveaway.
you talk to yourself.
Like, why are you running the faucet?
Oh, me? It calms me down.
No, I know, but what?
I knew someone.
It's like white noise.
I knew someone whose name will be nameless for this, but someone said to me when they went to their friends, or it was like their girlfriend's parents' house for the first time, he couldn't shit, but he had to, and he sat there on the toilet. He said, "I'm a big man, and I make big shit."
What? Who was? I want to know.
No, I cannot tell.
You tell off
but,
the books.
Well, that's crazy. It's floating up there.
So that was his little pep talk. I'm a big man, and I
can make big shits. And it was like a confidence booster.
Wow.
And then he was able to
That's
relax.
like something like from when you're 8 years old.
You just got to be able to relax and
Yeah.
release. I don't know how we got here in the podcast. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
I had it like a moment a week ago. It was like Saturday. And I woke up. I ate a bunch of like gassy food the night before. And
Beans?
I thought
What'd you
my
eat?
girlfriend Hillary got up, and she'll wake up early and go in the dining room and read. And my back, is to the door, and I let out the longest, wettest fart. Like, it sounded like I shit my pants. And I lean over, and she's staring right at me. Just looking at me. And I'm like, oops,
Like,
I didn't know you were there.
disgusted.
Sorry about that.
oh my God, we've really hit rock bottom on bumper
Yeah.
to bumper.
Speaking of farts, my dad hates farts. I remember when I was 14, I farted near him, and he goes, "That's disgusting. You do that again, and we have a problem." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And I ripped ass again, and he took me down, like, because he was a wrestler. He put me in a headlock and brought me down. To
Your
the
dad was a
ground.
wrestler?
Yeah, my
I
dad
feel
was
like
like a good
that's the
wrestler.
one thing that most
Professional
fathers
or
and sons
in high
bond
school.
over.
Yeah. No, my dad is weird. He doesn't like his birthday, and he doesn't like farts.
Oh my God.
But he loves soap operas. Like General Hospital. He used to tape them. I'm like, what the
I
hell
didn't
is wrong
see
with
that
you?
coming.
It's a big world, and everyone's got all kinds of different
everybody's got
little things.
strange things that they're into.
So, should we shift into politics?
No, we are not shifting
I thought
into
we'd go
politics.
straight into religion.
Yeah.
We've talked about religion on this
right
show.
from farting into
We
religion.
talked about. I remember in the early podcast we talked about religion more.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to talk about
we
religion.
don't want to talk about religion.
Fine, we're not talking about. I'm not trying to
we wanna talk
segue
about
into that.
Buttigieg. Is it Buttigieg?
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. By this time, the podcast
In the
is going
vortex,
on.
he's done.
He's done.
Yeah.
From what we're reading, but we're not a political podcast, so I don't really give a fuck.
PP.
Now we're getting kind of actually close to the end of the show.
We want to do this or that.
Let's do some this or that with Guerrin.
We're gonna
Is
do
there
this or
anything
that.
else you wanted to plug
Yeah,
or talk
what do you
about?
wanna plug?
Is there anything else that we didn't talk about or go over?
What do you really think of Chris?
Okay.
I love Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
I love both of you. I really
What?
Who would you
honestly
pick?
do.
Rick,
Yeah,
first this or that, Rick or Chris?
For what?
If we're in it's Titanic.
Well,
and
what's
we're,
the situation?
There's a raft, and one of
Oh,
us
this
gonna,
is a good this or that. Okay, you have to choose
I don't.
Rick or I.
We
but
have to go. First of all, we have to get through another entire night
Yeah.
and a 5-hour drive back. Do we really want
It's
to
okay.
go here
Chris
right
has
now?
seniority. I'm dead. I get it.
Fine, I don't care. We don't need
You're
to do it.
shorter, Rick.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
I got into your front seat, Chris. I'm like, wow, Chris is a big man and I'm a short man.
I'm just saying Rick and I would have a better time on the raft together.
Oh, bye, Chris.
What? I'm not on the raft?
We're gonna eat your body.
You're just taller.
You got more meat.
Wait, I'm taller, so I can't go on the raft?
Yeah, you're gonna take up
I
all
think
that
all
space.
three of us could get on, and I don't think.
What if we use Chris as a raft?
Okay. You just gotta hollow out my dead body and float
Like
down.
an Empire Strikes Back. I get inside of it.
We
keep
do
me warm.
need to eat.
So you would eat me first.
Yes. You're good eating.
I'll get in your body and I'll control you.
I'm grass-fed.
Oh yeah, well we don't
He
know
is
those
grass-fed.
fucking plant-based burgers. It could be
Yeah.
meat.
Okay, Rick.
You find out there's some like
Yeah, you don't want to
class
eat me or
action
you don't want
lawsuit.
to eat me or Rick after what we had today.
Oh yeah, Popeyes and a lot of Popeyes.
You also
and
had
biscuits.
McDonald's.
Oh yeah, Rick ate pure trash today. I wonder where he got
I'm like
that
a
name from.
raccoon.
No, I call you pure trash. I don't mean it. I love you, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
But I do love that.
I say some trash talk though.
I do love that spooky bonus where you're talking to the trash cans.
Oh yeah.
And the one
yeah.
trash can goes,
Yeah.
"Screw you, Rick. You're pure trash."
Should we go to that clip?
Let's go to the
Go to
clip.
the
Let's roll the clip.
Trash can, what's wrong?
Get the hell away from me, Rick. You're a piece of shit.
Hey, don't talk to him that way. Rick's our friend.
And we're back. All right, we're coming to the end of Bumper to Bumper.
Okay.
This was
Wait,
I
we're
don't-
gonna do this or that with Guerrin.
I know I'm not done yet. I'm
Okay,
just.
gee,
I'm,
it sounds like you're wrapping it up.
No.
I want to do this or that.
We're doing this or that. All right, this or that.
So it's a rapid fire.
All right, here we go. Guerin, this or that. Okay, here we go. Martini or margarita?
Martini.
Trump or Bernie?
Bernie.
Rick, going with the hard-hitting question.
I mean,
Mountains or beaches?
beaches.
Bert or Ernie?
Ernie.
Kermit or Fozzie?
Kermit.
Flying or swimming?
Swimming.
Space or underwater?
I mean, I guess
That's
underwater, but I was also said swimming.
Oh, okay.
Lucky,
I'm not very good at this game.
You're doing great.
Lucky Charms or Fruity Pebbles?
Lucky Charms.
Let's see here.
Come on.
What?
Hurry up.
You're gonna have to edit that dead space.
Hurry up.
Pantsuit or dress?
Pantsuit.
Oat milk or goat milk?
Oat milk. I've actually had goat milk, and I don't want that again.
Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Ferrari.
Tropical storm or hurricane?
Tropical storm.
Snowboarding or dirt biking?
Snowboarding.
Zika virus or coronavirus?
Oh God. Corona.
Japan or Hawaii.
Hawaii.
All right, this is the
Only
worst
'cause
this
I've
or
never
that
been-
ever.
Give me more. Then I don't want the worst one.
Surfing or skating?
Skating.
Shawshank Redemption or Star Wars?
Shawshank.
Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas.
Come on, Chris.
What? I can't think. I'm
Hurry
driving the
up.
car. All right.
Rick, you just fire them off.
Okay, liver or kidney?
Liver.
What?
Biscuit boy or biscuit man?
Biscuit boy.
Universal or DreamWorks?
DreamWorks.
Spielberg or Lucas?
Spielberg.
Harrison Ford or Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Saber-toothed tiger or Gremlin?
Gremlin. Gremlin for sure.
Gold or platinum?
Gold.
What's your favorite movie?
The Shining.
Shining or The Shining 2?
The Shining one.
Shining with Steven Weber or Shining with Jack Nicholson?
Shining with Jack Nicholson, even though I do love Steven Weber.
Steven Weber is great.
Yeah.
Seinfeld or Curb?
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
That's
good.
hard.
I asked that one in the last one, so that's mine.
Whatever the first thing pops in your mind.
Curb, I guess. That's recent.
Jimmy Fallon or Jay Leno?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a deep one because
There's
Leno is
lot
a
I
savage,
think
I know.
I've got.
but Fallon, I'm not as interested in.
Yeah, exactly. I guess Leno.
FM radio or AM radio?
That's a no-brainer.
FM.
Flat Earth or Hollow Earth?
Hollow Earth.
Okay, that was bumper to bumper.
Chris, I don't get any from you.
I can't think of them right now. My mind is focused on the road.
Sailboat or
Hands
canoe?
are 10 on 2.
Canoe.
Little Italian man or little Armenian man?
Little Italian man.
Thai food or sushi?
Sushi.
Sushi or mochi ball?
Sushi.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
cat food or dog food?
Cat food.
Rick or Chris?
No!
Yes!
Yeah. And that's been a great bumper to bumper episode.
Thank you
Thank you all
guys.
so much for tuning into the show.
I'll see you guys for the next couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna awkwardly sit silently in the car now.
Should we do another one when we're driving back and see which one's better?
No.
No. This is the one.
This is it.
This is it.
I'm not gonna watch both. How much time do you think I have? I just put this in the
I
computer.
didn't think about
I'll
that.
export
No, I'm
it.
just thinking. I think we would know instinctively
No,
which
this is
one.
great.
No, this
is a
one
good
was
one.
great.
Yeah,
This one was great.
Okay.
Guerin, do you have any websites or anything like that
Any
you want to let
websites
the
you
people
got?
know?
The internet, AOL.
I mean, you can see some of my stuff at GuerrinGardner.com. GUERRIN.gard. Or no, my website. Guerrin, GUERRINGARDNER.com.
All right, and thank you again for listening to another
Thank you to
episode.
Monster Energy Drink for sponsoring.
Thank you also to Bush's Baked Beans.
Thank you to Bush's Baked Beans. And we can't wait for Biscuit Boy, buddy. You're going to make you a giant fucking star.
As soon as this is over, we're going to start pre-production
we're
for
gonna start
Biscuit
pre-production.
Boy.
You're going to do it, okay? All right, you got no choice.
All
Anyway.
right, we'll see everybody on the next edition of Bumper to Bumper. I'm your host, Chris Candy.
I'm also your host, Rick Darge.
And I'm the guest, Guerrin Gardner.
All right, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers.